Should the King and Prince Harry have a public reunion?
Last month, Harry visited his father with Meghan and the children for the first time in 4 years. But now it's reported that Harry wants a public show of unity.
That's right. Harry is believed to have invited King Charles to stand alongside him at next summer's Invictus Games. Now, is this something that you would love to see? Or do you think that, well, because Harry's no longer a working royal, he doesn't need the King to stand next to him? Fahima, what do you think?
I think it would be great. I'm not particularly a royalist, but I know there's so many fans out there. And I think this country does represent family, Christianity, all of those values. Well, then show it in that way. Regardless of him being now working, in the actual royal family, he's still family. There is still DNA. There is still, so much going on. And I think the country needs more of that kind of unity. And if it was in public, I think it'd be great.
So commentator Emily Andrews joins us now. Emily, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you think it would be appropriate to have a public reconciliation?
I think this is a very, very tricky thing for the King because, as Charlie said, we all want to see fathers and sons make up, and we've had that private reunion at Highgrove, the Highgrove High Tea, as I've called it. But I think for Charles to come to the Invictus Games next summer, obviously, as monarch, he's head of our armed forces, so it would be appropriate. But this is an official engagement. It would be an official engagement for the King. It's also an official engagement for Harry. And he's not a working royal. And I know, royal geeks like me make this distinction all the time, but quite understandably, for most people, they don't really understand what the difference is between a working royal and a non-working royal. Harry is not a working royal, therefore he can do what he wants. He's a free man. He can sue the press, he can sue the British government, he can demand his security. But as a working royal, you cannot use your position for commercial gain. And Harry is using his position or, membership of the royal family for commercial gain.
What if the most powerful royal photograph of the next few years isn't a coronation, a balcony appearance, or some grand state occasion? Instead, imagine a simple image of a father standing beside his son. A father, a son, and a relationship that has been strained, now showing signs of mending. Two people deciding that perhaps the past does not have to dictate the future. Now, this image may seem harmless, even heartwarming to most, but in the realm of royal debate, it's considered almost dangerous. Dangerous enough to stir questions about royal status, to raise concerns about commercial interests, and even dangerous enough for some to argue that King Charles, standing beside his estranged son, Harry, could amount to welcoming him back into the fold. This assertion begs the question, why? Why does reconciliation automatically have to mean reinstatement? Why does a father's presence automatically become an institutional endorsement? And perhaps most importantly, why are some people more worried about what a photograph might symbolize than what reconciliation itself might mean? Even amidst this debate, a remarkable consensus emerges. Those questioning a public reunion largely accept that reconciliation between Charles and Harry would be a good thing. The private reunion has already happened. After years of distance, Harry visited his father with Meghan and the children. The father and son have had their private moment of reconciliation. The real question now is whether this healing should remain hidden. Should the royal family keep this moment of reconciliation concealed, or should it be shared with the world, demonstrating that even in the highest echelons of society, reconciliation is possible? This brings us to a poignant perspective from a caller named Grace from London. She wasn't talking about royal protocol or commercial gain, or whether Harry is a working royal.
Invictus Games, or, as you heard from Emily there, that sort of plays into Harry's game a little bit.
I think it would be great if they could reconcile. I love how it was said that the royal family, is supposed to represent Christianity, although Christianity needs to be a personal choice and not just a family thing. But a part of Christianity is that we're offered reconciliation with God. And so in a similar way, I think it's really great for people to reconcile with each other when that's possible. It's not always possible because sometimes another person might be a danger, but that's not the case here. So I think when people can reconcile, it's great. And if the royal family is going to do something, it will be good to model to everyone watching what we can do ourselves in our own lives. So I think that will be a positive thing for them to show off to the world.
He was talking about reconciliation. Grace argued that if the royal family is going to represent values such as Christianity, it should demonstrate those values in practice. But wait, why does reconciliation automatically have to mean reinstatement? Even the people questioning a public reunion largely accept that reconciliation between Charles and Harry would be a good thing. The private reunion between Charles and Harry has already taken place. Harry, along with Meghan and their children, visited his father after years of distance. This fact is acknowledged by both sides of the debate. The father and son have already had their private moment of reconciliation. Now, the question that looms ahead of us is whether this healing should remain hidden, tucked away from the public eye. As we delve deeper into this topic, I'd like to introduce you to a perspective that might change the way you think about this whole situation. This perspective comes from none other than Grace from London. Grace brought something fundamentally different to the table. She wasn't entangled in the intricacies of royal protocol. She didn't delve into the controversies of commercial gain. She didn't question Harry's royal status or his responsibilities. Instead, Grace talked about something far more profound, far more crucial. She was talking about reconciliation. For Grace, reconciliation wasn't just about mending a strained relationship between a father and a son. It was about the power that reconciliation holds, the message it sends, and the values it upholds. Grace's words hold a mirror to society. She essentially argued that when reconciliation is possible, it should always be seen as a positive thing. If the royal family is going to represent values such as Christianity, then perhaps it should demonstrate those values in practice. This thought, in its simplicity, is as profound as it is powerful. And there it is, Sussex gang, the crux of the argument. It isn't about Harry's title, Meghan, Netflix, royal duties, or whether Harry is back in the fold. It isn't about any of that. It's about something far more fundamental, far more human. She was talking about reconciliation. And Sussex gang, that is the argument. Not Harry's title, not Meghan, not Netflix, not royal duties, not whether Harry is back in the fold. Reconciliation. We've been caught up in the whirlwind of titles, status and media coverage. We've been distracted by commercial interests, by the glitz and glamour of royalty. But what we've been missing, what's been hidden in the noise, is the real issue at hand, the real question, the real argument, and that is reconciliation. Reconciliation is not about status or titles. It's not about a public image or a royal endorsement. It's about two people coming together, resolving their differences and choosing to move forward. It's about healing and growth. It's about love and forgiveness. It's about demonstrating that even in the face of pain, of hurt, of misunderstanding, reconciliation is possible. When a father and son decide to put their past behind them to heal their strained relationship, it's not about whether the son is welcomed back into the royal fold. It's about the fact that they are choosing to heal, to move forward, to reconcile. It's about the fact that they are choosing love over resentment, understanding over misunderstanding, forgiveness over grudges. And this choice, this decision to reconcile, is not just about them. It's not just about their personal journey. It's about the powerful message it sends to the world. It's about showing everyone watching that reconciliation is possible. That no matter the hurt, the pain, the misunderstandings, it's possible to choose love, to choose forgiveness, to choose reconciliation. This is not about restoring Harry's royal position. This is not about the politics of the royal family. This is about a father and son. It's about their relationship. It's about their journey towards healing and reconciliation. It's about the powerful message they can send to the world. And I think that is enormously powerful. One commentator says they would like to see fathers and sons repair strained relationships. Indeed, isn't that a universal aspiration? Across cultures and continents, the narrative of familial reconciliation is a strong one, often echoing in the stories we tell, the movies we watch, the songs we sing. Yet, when it comes to the royal family, why does this aspiration seem to be shrouded in controversy? This brings us to a profound question raised by Grace from London. She asked, why shouldn't the royal family model reconciliation to everyone watching? It's a simple question, yet it carries a significant weight. If the royals are seen as figures of influence, shouldn't they also be seen as figures of reconciliation? Reconciliation isn't about negating the past, but about acknowledging it, learning from it and moving forward. It's about setting aside differences, mending broken bonds, and fostering a better future. Isn't it then a powerful message if the royal family, under the global spotlight, could demonstrate this process? Grace wasn't concerned about royal protocols or titles. She was focusing on the human aspect, the essence of reconciliation. If the royals represent values such as Christianity, values that preach forgiveness and reconciliation, then shouldn't they demonstrate these values in practice? Yes, the royal family has their unique set of traditions and protocols. They have their unique challenges. But at the end of the day, they are a family. And families, royal or not, are made of individuals with their flaws, their differences, and their capacity for growth. So why shouldn't the royal family model reconciliation to everyone watching? If we encourage people to forgive, to mend strained relationships, to heal, why should the royals be exempt from demonstrating it? The image of a father standing beside his son after years of strain could be a powerful symbol of reconciliation. It could send a message that it's okay to acknowledge past mistakes, it's okay to seek healing, and it's okay to move forward. If we tell people that healing is possible, why shouldn't the royal family model reconciliation to everyone watching?